Hi, friends. Welcome back to Ozarks Traditional. I'm Tandy. Gracie's over there on the couch. You'll see her in a minute, I'm sure. I'm going to I'm going to deviate from normal content just a little bit today and bring you another little piece of traditional living. I don't know how many of you actually take the time to read the definition of traditional that's on the intro into this channel each week. But today I'm going to be going a little nostalgic on you and referring back to the part of traditional that goes handed down generation to generation. You see, I was sitting out on my porch this morning, and I'll show you a little video clip of that in just a moment. I was drinking my coffee before daylight, or right at daylight, listening to the turkeys gobble in the woods back here behind me. On the day that this video will be released is going to be on March 30th, and that's my daddy's birthday. My daddy is the one that instilled in me my love of everything woods and water. He was born in 1921 in Chico County, Arkansas, in the very southeast corner, right on the Mississippi River and right on the Louisiana line. His father was a Chico County uh, game officer, and he passed away when my daddy was 9 years old. So I never got to meet my granddaddy, but I know that my daddy and his four brothers and sister Uh, they cherished their daddy, and I heard wonderful stories from Daddy, even though he had a short time with him, about Granddaddy. Granddaddy passed away from uh, what they called back then was swamp fever. I believe it's a bacterial infection, leprodosis, something like that, a bacterial infection. Um, there was not a lot of doctors and everything back then, but so Granddaddy passed away when my daddy was 9 years old, and just a few short years after that, his mother passed away. So the family, Daddy was orphaned by the time he was 12 years old. Their youngest brother went to live with relatives and went on to get an education and become a pharmacist, and opened up a drugstore there in my hometown. Uh, my daddy's two oldest brothers, my Uncle Bill and my Uncle John Robert, uh, by the time World War II came along, they stayed behind to look after Aunt Cat, the boy's only sister, who had contracted polio when she was young. So they looked after Aunt Cat and gave her financial support, while my daddy and my Uncle Ray went off to volunteer and serve in World War II. My daddy, as a bombardier navigator who rose to the rank of captain in the Ninth Army Air Force, Ninth Army Air Corps. It was a precursor to the United States Air Force at the time. And my Uncle Ray served in India. I won't get too deep into this one, but a real quick aside about my Uncle Ray. Uncle Ray was a cowboy. While serving in Calcutta, India, some of his army buddies uh, dared him to ride one of the bulls that was some of the cattle that was out in the streets of Calcutta. Well, Uncle Ray was not one to back down from a challenge like that, so he actually roped this cow. He rode this. I don't remember if it's a bull, steer, cow. I don't remember what it was, but he rode it. And let's just say that in India, they don't hold the same value in bull riding as what American values hold. So he got he got into a little trouble over that one. But he came back. Both he and Daddy both survived World War II and came home. Uh, Daddy was a bombardier navigator, as I mentioned, in the nose of a B-26 Marauder, uh, doing his bomb runs in Germany and occupied France. Uh, I'll I'll show you his uniform and some of the medals that he won. He never really spoke of any of it unless pressed on it. Never in any braggadocious way whatsoever. Just if you asked a question, he would answer it and let it go at that. So after the World War was over, Daddy came home, and in the 1950s and 1960s, he spent every minute he could out in the woods, squirrel hunting, duck hunting, dove hunting, rabbit hunting, deer hunting. He did most of his deer hunting on horseback and with hounds. Uh, and but his passion was turkey hunting. So every time I hear a turkey gobble, it's memories of my daddy, excuse me, that rush back into my heart. So as you can tell, they're strong. So this year I want to honor my daddy, taking to the woods with some of the calls that he made. He would uh, he would make a turkey call out of anything that he could get his hands on. Some of them good ones, some not as much so. Uh, I'm going to show you a few of them that Daddy made, and one that actually belonged to my granddaddy. That I quite haven't made my mind out if I'm going to carry it out into the woods, but I still think that I might. Now I'm going to uh, try really hard not to overwhelm you with the with the sound from these. I've got this microphone here, and it picks them up a lot. So everything that I do to show you these calls, I'll try to do as softly as possible so as not to blow you out. But first and foremost, you've probably all seen what's known now. Pardon me. What's known now as pot calls. Well, back in the 1950s, they were called a cob and slate. Uh, some of you, my older members of my subscribers and members that come to my channel will remember when they actually wrote with chalk on chalkboards with the erasers that somebody during the day was allowed to go outside and clean the erasers, but it was actually instead of a whiteboard with markers, it was actually chalk and slate. So every now and then you could come across these pieces of slate, the old schoolhouses that would being remodeled and whatever. And the old turkey hunters would take a piece of that slate, cut it out with files or chisels to fit the palm of their hand, take a little piece of hardwood, whittle it down to size, and insert it into an old corn cob. And this was the striker and the plate for what would be a modern pot call. And Daddy had even taken some more wood, another little piece of hardwood, and actually whittled out another little striker. So I'm going to show you a picture now. The turkeys that my daddy killed, in the 50s and into the 60s, there was no National Wild Turkey Federation at the time. Um, Turkeys were definitely less abundant than that they are in the modern day and time. And to kill turkeys then, you had to be a turkey hunter. You had to know what you were doing, and Daddy did, and it was certainly a passion of his. He used to keep his beards that he had killed in an old Smith and Wesson revolver box in his dresser drawer. And on his passing, my brother and I were going through some of his stuff and came across his collection of turkey beards. he took those back home with him, and his wife, Chris, bless her heart, knew how much these things meant to my brother and I, and she put those together in a shadow box. And again, you'll be able to see the shadow box here. The turkey fan in the middle, those came from here on my farm after I moved here. The beard in the center is the first turkey that I killed on this property, and one of those spurs is actually what adorns the hat that I wear all the time. I know some of you may have wondered what these things are. They're turkey spurs, but the ones that really mean something to me. One was the first bird that I killed when I moved out to this farm. One was the largest bird that I killed on this farm. Uh, one of them was a spur off of a bird that my daddy killed. So all of these spurs they mean something to me, and that's the reason I keep them with me. So I'm sorry I get off topic sometimes, but back to some of the calls that my daddy made. This one he hand whittled himself. It's what is known as a tube type call. Uh, it was actually made a friend of the family used to hunt with a traditional bow, and his he broke his bow in a fall one time, and was gonna just get rid of it. And Daddy asked him if he could have some of the wood out of the riser of that bow. So he actually took it and carved this turkey call into a tube type call. Now, how these are used, the center is hollowed out. He's got holes for release of sound drilled through the sides, a top plate over the top, and across this opening you would stretch a diaphragm. Daddy used to use little strips of party balloons, just blow up balloons. And later on, when latex gloves and that sort of thing became available, he used some of that. But this was a design modeled after the old snuff cans that were used very often in the South uh, turkey hunting. The snuff can that I refer to is just a little small tin, about the size of a 35 millimeter film canister. The uh, the bottom would have a few holes punched in it to allow the air and the sound to escape, or excuse me, the top would, and then the bottom would have this half round cut out of it, and that's what you would stretch the balloon or the rubber over the diaphragm for making the sounds. Daddy killed most of his turkey using the old Levi Garrett snuff can, but he made this one out of a traditional bow. And this one, you're not going to believe this one, but this little fella is a tip of a Guernsey cow horn. Daddy happened to go by one of the neighboring farms when they were dehorning some of their cows, and he picked up a few cow horns, and he sawed it off, cut a lanyard hole in it, cut the sound chamber holes, whittled down the side of it, and this piece of plastic that is on the end right here, believe it or not, that's one of my mama's old mop buckets out of her kitchen. More than likely, she would have fussed at Doug if she had known that he used her mop bucket to cut out the lip plate for one of his turkey calls. This one still has a piece of latex over it. Uh, it's pretty much worn out, so I don't know if I can get a sound out of it, but we'll see. I'll try to block it off the microphone a little. Rubber's just about gone on it. I can see cracks and everything through it. We could make it work playing with it just a little bit. But that's probably my favorite call of everything, and it's the one that I use most of the time. Is my little cow horn that my daddy made. But I'm going to be taking the Cobb and Slate these calls. This one, I don't know if it was, I think that it was handmade. And I'll bring it up just a little closer for you to see. But there's no manufacturer on it anywhere, and I'm pretty sure that it was handmade. So it's got the little sound chamber inside here with the little lip that will take the vibrations from another little piece of wood. That was my granddaddy's call. Whether he made it, whether somebody made it for him, I really don't have the story behind it. And the last one I want to show you is one of the Lynch's foolproof number 101 box calls. They're a classic. But back in the 1960s, my daddy purchased two of these, one for me, one for my brother. They were sitting on a display counter in a sporting goods store that he walked into, and he must have gone through 50 of them to decide on the two that he liked the sound of. So I ended up with this one, and my brother's got one just like it. I have killed a good number of birds using this box call. Uh, I'll never let anything happen to it. Great sound to it. Great sound to it. Well, during this turkey season, these are some of the calls that I'm going to choose from to take my first bird. Our season opens right after Easter, April the 21st, and the gun that I'm going to use is going to be my daddy's shotgun that he finished up his turkey hunting career with. It's a Browning superposed, over and under, 30-inch, full and full. We always called her Gigi, and Gigi is short for Gobbler's Getter. She took on that nickname after the first turkey season that Daddy took her out hunting. He, after purchasing this, and I believe he got it from a pawn shop in Pine Bluff, Arkansas. I believe is where he came by this shotgun. In the probably early 1970s. It's again 30-inch, full and full. He took it dove hunting first, and noticed that every bird that he shot dove hunting was just tore to pieces, just absolutely hammered every time he hit one. So he decided right then and there that he probably ought to pattern that gun and see how it did. When he put some 3-inch shells in it, it it performed. He knew it was his turkey gun after that, and it's the only one that Daddy carried into the woods after finding out what a tight pattern that it shot. So this is actually the shotgun, the turkey fan that you saw earlier that has some of my beards hanging from it. The first one that I killed on that property was actually killed with this shotgun. So it's going to be my honor to bring it out of semi-retirement and take it back into the woods again this spring. After killing the first bird, very well may try to take my recurve out and see if I'm good enough to get drawn on on one of these old long-beard toms. I'm not. I've tried turkey hunting with compounds, and I've killed a couple with the compounds, but they've been from inside of a blind. Well, two of them. One of them was not inside the blind, but I've killed three with the compound. So I know what a chore it is, even with the compound. So I know it's going to be extra special to try to take one with the recurve. But I'll give her a shot. But the first one to go down, because I haven't been in the woods in a few years, is going to be paying homage to my daddy with his shotgun and using some of the calls that he made with his own hands. So I'm going to leave it there for right now because again I get a little sentimental when I talk about my daddy. uh, he uh, he meant everything to my brother and my sister and myself, and he was a very patient teacher. He was the kind of teacher that I wish I could have been. He allowed he would explain how to do things, and then he would give you room to let you put your hands on it and try it yourself, which is always the best way of learning. And I was never quite as good at that, but I do know that he would be very proud of how his grandchildren have come up loving the outdoors just as he has. Um, I'm going to flash up a couple more pictures right now. Uh, this one is that I put up now is of my son's first turkey, and it meant so much to him because after my dad passed, the next season that came up, the youth turkey hunt actually fell on Daddy's birthday, and my son was able to kill that bird on his papa's birthday. After all these years and a grown man, it still gets me. I do all of this and I speak to you now so that you all may understand what traditional really means. We've got a lot of youth coming up behind us that they need to know that there's something to all of this uh, besides what you can monetarily gain through some newfangled call, some state of the art shotgun with uh, bismuth steel shot in it that's supposed to kill it at 90 yards or whatever. Uh, Using these old calls, those birds were called into 15, 20 steps, and they were taken because the hunters then knew woodsmanship. They knew how to be alert, they knew how to watch for movement, and they knew how to not move themselves. Uh, they knew how to see and not be seen, and they knew what it took to bring game in. That's the way it is with traditional archery. That's the way it is with traditional hunting and traditional woodsmanship. So learn these skills, pass these skills on. Again, it needs to go from generation to generation. Some child out there, some grandchild out there needs to remember each of us the way that I'm remembering my daddy right now. So, best of luck to all of you in the coming season. Thank you very much for allowing me to pay this tribute to my dad and what he's meant in my life. And I thank you all for being here and let me share this with you. Until next time, you guys have a wonderful life. Keep God in your hearts. Keep pure thoughts in your mind and love your family. Y'all come back.